So maybe we just need a little bit of this guy, Asgar's. What's his name?
Asgara?
Not Asgar.
Azarus?
Azarus.
Yes.
Maybe we just need a little bit
Azar.
of his blood and just follow it back to the source.
Oh man, yeah, we could. What we do is we take some of his blood and we heat a needle up really hot, and we touch the needle to the blood and see if the thing happens.
And then Caesar's stomach opens up and bites off somebody's arms.
Yeah, exactly.
I missed the reference, but let's do it anyway.
Caesar's down. Steve's down for arm eating.
Steve, you gotta watch it. John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, it's really good. Classic.
It's got Kurt Russell.
I'm pretty bad at movie watching.
It's fine.
In any case, Rasheen will exclaim, my friend, you bleed. You must have taken an injury. Here, allow me to, take care of that. And he produces a royal handkerchief and, wipes it from his face.
You're too kind, Your Majesty.
No concern at all, my friend. You have clearly been working toiling long day and night. Please, go and rest yourself until I have further need of you.
As you command.
All right, let's magic this bitch and get to the source.
Yeah, let's magic this bitch. That's really weird. That's a really weird thing to say, but I'm down.
Okay. How are you going to magic this bitch?
Well, probably Caesar can join his blood with the tainted blood, of course, separate from his own body, but then direct his blood to perhaps have the tainted blood sort of flow back to its source.
Tainted blood.
Bentley's singing this in the background. It's part of the ritual.
Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
We always feel a soundtrack.
So you're going to take some tainted blood into you.
Mm.
All right.
I think he specifically said he did not want to take the blood into him. He wants to just join it, maybe in a mason jar.
Well, if it needs to be taken in, Caesar will do so anyway.
Yeah, that's true. You will. You're a freaky little mushroom. That's why I love you.
Okay.
Basically, we're looking for a way to establish a sympathetic link between this tainted blood and whatever is powering it.
All right. That's fair. So, you're going to mingle your blood with the tainted blood in some way. And you said you want to do that. Are you doing that in your body or in a container, or what's the deal? Describe to me how this works.
That's a good question. I suppose it would depend on what you mean by source. Is it just kind of... it's not like actual tainted blood flows into them somehow. Or does it?
It's hard to say. You've seen the corruption before. You've seen the corrupted halflings. They were much further gone than these people.
Well, my feeling says that Caesar's just going to have to absorb some of this tainted blood, and he'll have to follow the sense that it gives him back to the source.
Okay.
That'll be how it works.
Okay. So you bring some of the tainted blood into your mushroom body, and you can immediately feel the blood beginning to attack you. Not just your physical body, but your very sense of self. And you're going to have to attempt to overcome that in order to avoid being overtaken by the corruption.
Sounds fair.
Or damaged by the corruption.
I'm glad that the blood is my damage stat. So that's rolling with despair, correct?
That's how it works if you're... Yeah, unless you're working with somebody in this blood ritual.
I suppose Bentley could aid me.
Sure. I think I've got a bond to you. I don't know if you've got a
I do.
mutual
I have
bond.
2 to you, in fact.
Oh, wow. You weirdo.
All right, so that balances out, and you just roll normally.
All right, so with Bentley's backup vocalist in the background, we can get this going.
Somehow Bentley has pulled a guitar out of Hesmack's
Oh dear.
jalopy.
He's on the Macarena, so for some reason.
Wow, Macarena is too powerful of a magic machine. Gosh, you can't just.
You know, not with what you toy.
That's like the plan Omega. Like, well, world's fucked anyway. You're not getting Overlord. Macarena time.
Okay. Well, you can definitely sense where the corruption is coming from. There's that, which is good. Not so bad as that something has noticed you. You can sense an immense darkness that has now taken notice of your existence.
Oh dear.
And appears to be moving this way. You can sense it separately from the source of the corruption here.
Quickly moving or just kind of coming here?
It's hard to tell where exactly it is because the link is not strong, but it appears to be coming from much further south. And actually a little bit... Hang on a sec, I need to check the map. Right. It's coming from somewhere in the desert to the south and a little to the east of you.
All right.
Almost as if it was coming from somewhere between your home and here.
Oh dear. I do not sense good tidings, my friends. I believe my ritual has awoken something, and it is coming for us.
Then it is all the more imperative that we free my people so that we can face this threat united.
Indeed. The good news is I know where the source is. And I'll explain that feeling.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. As this is going on, you start to see some of the camp followers. The guy you met at the entrance, he's gotten back up with the ministrations of the other people nearby who pulled him over to the fire. And the golden armor person. They've all seemingly gotten together, and they seem to be heading over towards the elf cages. Or at least where Azaras told you the elf cages are.
Oof, we better go stop that.
Yes, let's. Advocate real quick.
Let's motor towards that thing.
I'm saying, we better get started draining their blood. It's going to take a while. Should we try hanging them upside down from a tree? That works with pigs. It might help speed up the blood draining for the elves too. Well, I have a tap here, like the kind you use to get sap from a tree. Maybe if we hammer that in, they're saying, and they're discussing the fastest ways they could drain the blood out of the elves.
A violent group of people you lord over here, Rasheen. Very, very violent.
Their baser natures are being exploited by the Overlord. This is not the true way of my people.
But you just said it's their nature.
I said baser nature. All creatures have a base primal nature, an instinct to survive. Certainly yours are not discounted from this.
We are, actually.
Oh, well then that's very nice for you. In the meantime, I have a people to save. Excuse me.
Oh, Your Majesty. Hello, hi.
Yes, my people, it is I, your king. I have returned to you, and before you enact the ritual you have awaited. I have words to share with you.
Born is looking expectantly at you and then sort of frowning at the humans with their... One of them's got like a knife out now. The other one's still holding that tree tap that they were talking about.
Hold, my friends, and as Rasheen talks, he's going to move over in this direction, actually. Kind of talking and walking. As many of you know, my kingdom, our home, was stolen from me by the blade of the usurper, and I believe now he to be in league with the Overlord. There are many happenings in the world that you must be aware of, and Rasheen is kind of going to launch into a sort of a long soliloquy / speech, kind of just recounting the history of their struggle and such. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to keep them busy so
Alright.
that the others can free the elves while Rasheen has them distracted.
All right, go for it. That's plus courage.
Okay.
They're torn. They want to listen to you as the king, but they're pretty eager to get on with this whole, blood draining thing.
Can I invoke the yes, my liege, as an advantage for this? Since when I issue a command to someone below my rank, they obey it.
As an advantage for...
Right. For keeping their attention on me, essentially. Because I'm their king, I'm speaking. They're supposed to pay attention to me.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have an advantage in it, you don't need an advantage to roll. Keep them busy.
Right. No, I'm just just an advantage for the roll itself.
I think he means hope.
Oh, you want to roll with hope?
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me check here. Why not?
Okay. Cool. So that's courage. Ooh, good. So that means I roll what, an extra die?
3d6 plus courage. Let me take the two highest. All right, so that's a 13, which is a success. So you are keeping them busy. You buy as much time as you need, and all their attention is all on you. So what's the rest of the fellowship doing as Rasheen holds forth, talking to his people about this and that?
We'll just, at least Caesar will go ahead and mosey on over to the cages and start opening them.
Okay, how are you opening them?
Are they locked?
Absolutely, yes. Big old locks. They didn't want these elves getting away before they resurrected the true king,
That's true. Then I suppose, since I am not a thief with thief tools and lockpicking things, I will go ahead and use some of that tainted blood I've got and pick it from the inside by just kind of bleeding into the locks.
Okay.
Gross.
Make a blood key.
Oh, God, blue ball in my blood eye.
All right. So, sure, you can attempt to finish them on one of these locks here.
All right. I think that's blood again.
It's up to you. You choose how you're going to finish them and then explain how that fits with the stat, and there you go.
Well, just using blood, the actual blood that I have, it seems to be the innate talents of my people, so that would be blood to me.
It does make the most sense. All right.
So, yeah, I'll try it.
I believe in you, Caesar. I believe in all of you, Caesar.
I'm not rolling very good, though I messed that up once.
All right, so you got an 8. So you damage a stat. You deal damage to a stat that makes sense. And you lose your advantage over this lock. Now, this particular cage only has the one stat, which is locked. So you damage that stat. And that cage
All right.
is removed.
Excellent. So Caesar will look exhausted after this and say, even though my orc blood allows me to do many things, taking in that tainted blood was a bit much.
Hmm.
So there's still 4 cages here.
Yes.
I have a power that lets me bust a wall or a door in my way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need to roll anything. I think it's just like a spell use.
Is it one of your? It's one of your dragon spells.
Yeah.
Okay. As a blessing of strength.
Oh yeah, that one.
Okay, so tell us how you open the door, preferably without drawing too much attention.
Well, I guess befitting the name of the spell, I can grab the lock and kind of wrench it off, which is probably less obvious than knocking down the entire cage wall.
Indeed it is. You wrench the lock off the door, and the elves push it open from the inside. They fly over to join Borenborn as well, who's waiting to lead the elves away into the forest.
Are there any cages left?
There are 3 cages remaining. Just sitting there, full of elves.
How big are the cages?
The cages, well, let's see. The elves are, 6 inches tall, I said? In general?
About that.
Yeah, so the cages are about 4 feet high, and they contain like a whole bunch of elves each. It looks like an old, 18th or 19th century zoo enclosure for exotic birds. They don't look comfortable in there.
Alright, I'll see if I can open one of these. I'll just pull the lock off.
Okay. Is that a move that you're using?
I will try to finish the lock.
Okay. What are you going to do to gain an advantage over this lock?
Let's see.
Or in what cool way are you going to dispatch the lock that will give you an advantage over it? Just gonna move you
Actually,
down
can I use a different move? Can I use the stronger than is reasonable from does that work? From my giant nature?
there? Remind us how that one works.
I'm strong enough to uproot trees, smash doors off their hinges, break through wooden walls and supports, and lift just about anything. Your melee attacks also have the area tag, hitting multiple enemies with ease.
Okay. So smashing doors off hinges. It doesn't sound like this is a very finessey move. It says you have significant trouble acting with finesse.
Oh yeah, yep. When you pay a price, you must also deal collateral damage. Plus, something breaks, you damage the environment, allies caught in the attack, or you get stuck somehow.
All right. Are you willing to take that risk?
Absolutely.
Okay, then
Let's go.
attempt
The rest of
to
the session
finish the
wearing a
lock.
cage.
All right. That looks pretty good. You've got a 9 there, so you deal damage to a stat. That makes sense. You lose your advantage, and again, these ones only have the 1 stat. So you do it. That one's gone.
You just see me reach over and twist the lock in my bare metal hand and pull it off and toss it aside. And then I just step to the side, open the cage. Fly, you fools.
Don't call us fools, they say, but thanks anyway. And they fly off.
I give him the thumbs up of justice.
Okay. Oh, Bentley, do you have a way to open these cages? There's still a few left.
Don't mess up.
Oh,
Lives are at stake.
I intend to mess. No, I don't intend to mess up. Well, I mean, let's see here. What could Bentley do?
What resources have you got available?
Let's see. I've got a runed sword that we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some wizardly baubles that have 2 uses and it's useful. I could maybe use one of those to conjure a magical set of lockpicks to give myself a way to open this lock.
Sure.
That could be a thing I could do.
Why not?
In fact, why isn't that a thing I do? It would help me use my great wisdom of the world and mechanics and lockery and magic and all that to finish this lock with, all that stuff I just mentioned.
Now,
by working things out, acting calmly and reasonably.
You're using a useful item, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just turning it into like a key for these locks?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you do that.
Oh.
You get a key to these locks.
Oh. I don't even have to finish these locks. I just have... Man.
No, you use your gear for it.
I pay my gear to free the elves. I key it up.
After he's done doing that, I kind of look at the broken lock in my hand and then slowly offer it over to him for unlocking.
I'll jiggle it a little. I think it's busted.
It unlocks, though, anyway.
Oh, I thought those were like skeletons, not little pixies.
No, they're all elves. Borenborn whispers, "I shall return these people to our village. See that you cease this corruption before we are forced to take matters into our own hands."
Just a giant vengeance circle going on around here. Very negative in this place.
Yeah, they're not very happy about the whole thing. See Borenborn's like doing a head count and frowning. Okay. You've freed the elves.
Hooray!
Good job, Rasheen. Excellent holding forth.
Sure. Now we just need to destroy the source of corruption.
Yeah.
So you're done holding their attention now?
Oh, maybe you guys want to like not be there with all the empty cages before I stop holding their attention?
We'll be over here whistling innocently.
Good idea.
For Caesar, it's just like this long monotone.
Me just staring down at him the whole time with the broken lock still in my hand. It's unlocked now, though, so it's good.
Just a train whistle.
Okay.
I wonder
Flashy,
how those elves
yeah.
got out.
Cutting over to Rasheen, he winds down his speech and concludes with, "And so that's the story of how the cat finally found its boots."
They all applaud. They're very impressed by your story.
Yes, he bows. Well then, yes. Now we can get to this important business of the ritual. Oh my God! And he exclaims at the open cages, "What What sorcery is this?
They all look over and gasp. Foul elven magics, they say. They've escaped, now we'll never be able to resurrect our king. Unless... Quickly! Quickly now! We must return to the elven camp and recapture them, or find their king. Or the speaker they're called.
This is going as expected.
Quickly now! They all
yes,
run off.
My subjects! I shall... Oh, damn it. Well, we'd better find and destroy that source of corruption fast.
We may have had more time if you hadn't blown the whistle on us. Oh God, look over there, all the elves are gone, says Rasheen.
Well, they were about to turn around anyways.
Yeah, they could have done that in their own time.
Well, I was going to try and lead them on a wild goose chase for a while, but they were too fast.
Let's not sugarcoat any more failures tonight. Let's try to find some solutions.
Okay, so yes, let's go find this source of corruption.
You're all very much right, of course. Probably we need to annihilate the elves once and for all and whatnot. But better to wait for morning. Elves see very well at night, and we're running out of time here. So all of you get your rests, and we'll be back to lead the party with you.
Most of them have left, but
yeah, I think they cleared out.
Lady, here's you.
Why do your people not listen to you at all?
We are a short-lived race. No time for standing around and listening to things, except me.
Well, this lady says, well, if you can catch up to us in the morning, we'll most likely have to rebuild the bridge or something. We took that bridge out so that the elves couldn't follow us. So...
Yes, indeed. I shall take my my merry band of allies here and ensure that the elves did not escape in some other direction, and we will join you in the morning.
Bentley has a look on his face like something about what that lady just said doesn't add up.
Unless somebody has repaired the bridge, we'll definitely be very slow in getting to the elf camp. And she runs off to follow the rest of the squad. That's the sound of her living, yeah.
And that was Hesmac driving off.
Doing some sweet donuts.
Yep. I don't suppose you can.
All right then, I'll go take care of the bridge. I just kind of toss the broken lock over to my little mushroom friend, who can assuredly make good use of it down the road.
Now you're just challenging me.
Are you splitting the party? Is that what's happening here?
Apparently so.
Well, the bridge was remade through my magic. Presumably, I could just cancel that magic.
Can you?
Presumably.
Can you cancel
wait
it
till all
from
his
here?
people are on it first?
No, don't do that, please.
Don't kill my people, says Rasheen.
Well, it's not like the bridge is right out there. It'll take them a couple hours to get that far. I mean, remember, it was a lengthy journey.
Yeah.
For you to get from the elf camp here. It took you like
now the reason
day.
Bentley's face is like, that doesn't add up. Aren't the elves like...
They fly, yeah.
Yeah, they can fly.
Yes, the elves can fly.
That's why Caesar's like, Rasheen's people aren't too bright.
Same. High five, Caesar.
Hey.
They had that good arrow trap, though,
They did have that.
That was some fine craftsmanship, but
All right, so Caesar, you're going to enact some type of magic to cancel your bridge.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay. Well, it's your bridge, so if you want to finish them on your bridge, I would say you have an advantage over it, seeing as you made it. So give it a shot.
I believe in you.
I believe in myself, too. I'm going to call this a sense thing, as he probably needs to sit down to contemplate this a minute and sort of channel his magics through a long distance. And it sort of takes time. He has to work the taint in his blood as well.
He has to work the taint.
So yeah, does that seem sensey to you?
That makes sense as you've explained it.
All right. What is my sense? Oh. I'm not rolling good today.
Not the best. Okay. On a 6 or less, you lose your advantage, and you face retaliation. Well, unfortunately, you've introduced corruption into your blood, and that means that the bridge, which was made with your pure blood, no longer recognizes your authority.
You failed your authentication procedure.
I hope this means that when they get to the bridge, they are faced with some sort of horrible blood tentacle monster or something.
Ah.
I mean, that'll work. Preventing them from crossing for a while.
That's probably what's going to happen, since your people, when corrupted, do turn into tentacle mushroom monsters, right?
Yeah, probably.
So, if you want to destroy the bridge, or weaken the bridge, you can, but it is going to weaken you further.
What are we talking here?
Oh, let's see. Show a downside. Alright, so if you want to force the bridge to be damaged, then you are not going to be able to roll in hope for the remainder of the session.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Be brave and take risks. Let's do it.
You can feel the corruption spreading throughout your body. A little bit more, as you strain, and suddenly you break through and the bridge shatters. But you feel yourself growing more and more despairing.
Caesar coughs up blood, which is alarming because he doesn't have an apparent mouth.
Okay, and are you all going to head towards the source of the corruption?
Certainly.
Indeed.
Alright, well, we're going to put a break in here, and when we return, these gentlemen and ladies, actually you're all gentlemen, I assume.
I sure am.
The characters. The Fellowship is going to head south towards the source of the corruption. And we'll see how they deal with it. So until then, all the best.